Oh, it's happening. We're live. We're live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And now we're live on IG. Okay, we did it. Okay, we're live across the platform. Hello, Black Ventures ecosystem. Hi everyone, welcome. Oh my gosh, hi, someone said hi, Joe. That's so sweet. You know my name. Thank you. Hi. Glad to see you. Welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for coming. Oh, we're getting quick. That's why I like to see. Listen, we're about to have a good day tonight. Y'all don't even know. I'm actually gonna turn this music down just a little bit. I think we're jamming too hard. I want to make sure y'all can hear me, but hello everyone, welcome to the live. We're gonna have a really awesome night. Okay, hi, oh my gosh, people know my name. Yes, nice to meet you all. I'm Joe. I'm the community manager for BGV. I'm super glad to jump in with you all, and also I've got a special surprise. So y'all don't even know, but we have some Chicago pitch winners coming up to the stage with us to talk all things pitch, talk all things being an entrepreneur, being a founder, what it's like, all that good stuff. So thank you all so much for just coming on here and attending and hearing their stories and their journeys. I'm gonna just wait a couple of minutes to get the live popping, get the energy in here. But if you're already here, can you do me a favor and just type in the chat where you're coming from? Okay, so what city, what state are you in? Where should Black Girl Ventures go next? Okay, if I'm seeing a lot of people commenting from a state, you never know. A pull-up and pitch might come your way. Okay, so just go ahead and drop in the comments just where you're at, where you're coming from. And if you're a business owner too, go ahead and shout that out. Okay, shout out Atlanta. Shout out New York. Listen, New York, I got good news for y'all. BGV Pitch is coming to you soon, so stay tuned. New York, I got good news. Shout out Atlanta. Yes, Venetia. Oh, I see you, Venetia. Good to see you. Black Girl in Love, business owner, shout out. Where you coming from, Black Girl in Love? What's your region? DC, shout out DC. Listen, DC, stay tuned because I think we're going to have some information for you. Okay, I'm checking everything on my end. It looks good. Hi, everyone. Hi, DC. Hi, Atlanta via Toronto. That's a crazy story. Thank you. I need to hear a little bit more about that. It seems like we need to come out to Atlanta. I'm seeing a lot of good energy for Atlanta in the chat. Shout out also to people coming in from YouTube and LinkedIn as well. So I'm getting St. Louis, Missouri from LinkedIn. Shout out. I saw your comment. Don't worry. We're glad to have you. Thank you all so much for joining. We're about to get this thing kicked off. Like I said, you don't even know it yet, but we got some bomb founders coming up here soon, sharing all about their business, sharing all about their experience in the BGV Chicago pitch. We got the first place, second place, and third place pitch winner up here tonight. We're gonna have a really great conversation. I'm glad you all are here. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off, and have a little fun. Like the vibes are in it. I'm sensing it. I love the community tonight. So let's go ahead and just jump into this thing so we can hear as much from our founders as possible, right? So I'm gonna bring up our pitch program manager, Isabella, to the stage. Isabella, welcome. How are you tonight?
Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thrilled to be here today. And also, thank you so much to our BGV community tuning in. And thank you so much for joining again.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you, Izzy. Now, I know, tonight is going to really dive into our founder. So we're not going to talk too much. We're going to let our alumni take the stage. But I did want to hear a little bit from you, just about the pitch program and just a couple of things you'd like to share, as Philly applications are open right now. Okay, so if you're out there and you're in Philly, you can apply right now to the BGV Pitch competition. Also, New York applications will be opening soon, as well as LA. So stay tuned, because you never know what we got. But Izzy, I want to hear from you. What's the experience like being the pitch program manager? Do you have any kind of interesting things to say to our live audience?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited because, as you said, we're talking about the upcoming pitch competition, which is happening in Philly on September 25th, and this is actually the third stop of our pitch tour. Our second stop, as you said, was in Chicago, and I'm really excited because, again, today we're hearing such inspiring stories from our 3 Chicago winners. So definitely, if you are ready to learn on how to take your startup to the next stage, or you just love hearing about innovation, you are definitely in the right place. To your point, we're not just your typical pitch competition, because we merge the power of community with crowdfunding with a live audience. So the way that it works is that the crowd chooses the winner. So during the event, we have a panel of 3 judges giving feedback, but the audience, again, the community decides who the winner is by voting with their dollars on our crowdfunding platform, Raceify.co. And every dollar equals a vote. And also, founders get real support before competing in the competition. We host 2 pitch practice sessions with the BGV team. They get feedback on the storytelling, their deck, their business strategy, and more, because we want you to shine on stage. So if you haven't pitched before, that's not an obstacle. Don't stop yourself. Actually, one of the winners of the Chicago competition, it was their first time pitching, and she did such an amazing job, and she had the courage to apply, and she ended up also winning. So those kinds of stories are the ones that we love to hear, and I am able to witness as a pitch program manager here at BGV. And again, the Philly applications are still open, and you have until August 28th to apply. So if you're in Philly, don't definitely miss this shot for you to apply to the Philly pitch competition. And you can engage your community into this competition. And I'm telling you, the community is a big part of it. But we would love for the audience that is tuning in, that is watching the live today, to experience the energy firsthand of how our pitch competitions are on site. So we have a little video that we want to show about our last year's New York pitch competition. And this will give you a taste of the excitement, the talent, and the incredible community you'll be a part of if you apply to Philly again.
Okay, and before we play this video, I gotta say one thing just for all the Chicago folks out there. Chicago showed up and showed out for the pitch competition. All right. The Chicago pitch competition this year was everything, from the founders on the stage to the people in the room. So, if you think this is anything, this is just a little taste of the real energy in the space, because when founders come together, it changes everything. So I'm going to play this video so y'all can see it, but I want y'all to understand that when you show up and you show out for your city, when you show up and show out for entrepreneurs in your area, in your network, in your ecosystem, you continue to strengthen the place that you live. You continue to bring love and energy back into your community. And that is a part of what this is about. So I'm just saying, if you're out there in Philly and you love Philly and you want to represent Philly, then this is also a great competition for you to be in, because every single city has an opportunity to just show up and show out. And right now, Chicago's in the lead. Okay, I'm not saying there's a competition or nothing, but it's a competition, So right now, I'm just saying Chicago really did a great job showing up and showing out and giving community, and we really appreciate that for them. But I just want y'all to see a little bit of the BGV vibe.
My company is one of the top 7 finalists, and today we're here pitching our businesses amongst amazing Black women-owned businesses. It's not often that you get to be in a room with people that look like you and being able to celebrate other women and other founders.
We're all looking to do the same thing and make an impact in our community. I'm excited about following the rest of their stories and seeing how we can continue to impact the world together.
Us being up here is letting people in the audience know that it's possible for them too.
So we're gonna hear 7 talented entrepreneurs. They're gonna have 3 minutes to pitch, and then they're gonna have 2 minutes of feedback from our wonderful champions. I'm bringing up a really wonderful and talented founder.
For artists of color, there's an unnecessary barrier to creating due to the lack of representation in art supplies.
My name is Chioma Ngudo, and I'm the co-founder
Fundamentals of Curl Cap are hair care, community, and creativity.
An area that is an emerging category such as hair extensions.
I was determined to use my medical knowledge and expertise to develop
less than 4% of Black-owned executives.
Join us in making a difference. Your investment isn't just...
What are your top priorities on your roadmap to becoming a leader in your industry?
What's the next big milestone you're aiming for, and why is it important?
How much does it cost to make?
Gratitude is such an important part of being a business owner, being grateful and remembering why you're doing something. That's how people feel your passion. That's how you actually make an impact. And so that's felt here with Black Girl Ventures.
The winner is going to get fuel to continue their venture and to also know that they have a communal backing for what they're pursuing, and even more so get more confidence to know that what they're doing is already on the right tracks.
So all of you in here tonight, you all can scan this QR code. The crowd is gonna have an opportunity to choose our crowd favorite.
Being in a community is the thing that fuels us, keeps us going, lets us know that there's other people who think like us, see us, and we become visible to each other and just spread love. That's what it's all about. So I'm so glad that y'all could come.
I just realized my mic was muted, but y'all have to assume that I came back with a lot of passion and a lot of energy. Okay, can y'all assume that for me? Thank you, community, for being so nice. All right, because that was a wonderful video. And it's just always so great to get into that BGV energy, really feel the vibe of what we're trying to offer, really, understand what it looks like to represent community in a space, represent community in your ecosystem. So I want to go ahead and start bringing up our Chicago pitch winners. Without further ado, I'm going to bring up our 3rd place winner first. I want to bring up Jada Samuels, founder of Jada Juice.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jada. Thank you for coming. I'm also going to go ahead and bring up our 2nd place winner naturally. 3rd, 2nd, I want to bring up Carleen, founder of Bash Beauty Labs. Welcome, Carleen. It's good to have you tonight. Thank you for coming.
Good to be here.
All right, listen, and this last founder, she's no secret, okay? You can smell the scent of food from the second she walks in the venue, but you don't even know it's not food, it's candles. That's right, I'm talking about bringing up Katrina, founder of Dessert Culture. Hi, Katrina. Hi,
how are you? How you guys doing?
All right, listen, thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you all for being here. Listen, are y'all ready to jump into it? Because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and hear it. I know I just introduced you all, but let's get more of a formal introduction. This question can be from anybody, but I would just love, tell us about your story. How did you become a founder and why?
I guess we could go in the same order. We just got called in. So
it's freeform. Anybody can do it.
Okay. So my name is Jada, and I'm the CEO and founder of Jada Juice. It's an all-natural cold-pressed juice company that I actually started when I was 17 years old. It was in 2020, so it was during COVID. And I started my company because I realized how many people in our community were not eating healthy and were very uneducated on how to eat healthy. So I started to make smoothies and ginger and turmeric shots when it was during COVID for my family. And then I started to branch out and also get it to family and friends, and they loved it. So I started Jada Juice. And through Jada Juice, I educate my customers on the importance of a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, and I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, anybody can go. It's your stage.
Okay. Hi, I'm Carlene Davis. I'm the founder and CEO of Bash Beauty Labs, where we make customizable private label products. So I actually started by having my own hair care line. I was definitely like into learning more about my natural hair. I'm also a cosmetic chemist, so I thought perfect way to make my own products. I actually was showcasing how I made my own products on social media, and I started selling in that way. But then people started reaching out to me asking, "Hey, I see you make your own product. Can you help me?" So that's how Dash Beauty Labs was born, and I've been helping others with their small beauty brands grow.
Nice. I love it. Okay, same question to you, Katrina. Tell us your story and how you got into this.
Hey, my name is Katrina Thacker. I am the founder of Missouri Culture. We're a wellness brand that was founded in 2020. I actually started my brand based off of my healing journey at that time and really started creating intention-based candles that were self-specific intentions, really just to kind of find a space of calmness and ease and peace into my home. From there, I expanded some of my baking talents into dessert-inspired candles. So now I create every kind of dessert-inspired candle there is. And not only do they smell good, but they kind of smell good enough to eat. So it's creating both of those avenues in order to make intention-based products as well as a scent discovery product that everybody can have in their home.
And listen, she ain't lying either when she say it's good enough to eat. Like, I wish I could show y'all the candle, but I already ate it. No, I didn't eat it, but like I already burnt it all up. I've already made the scent in my house. There's no more smell of banana pudding anymore, but it lasts long and it's worth it. Okay, so I can attest by. I want to keep the energy rolling. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty, right? We all know now that y'all are Chicago Pitch winners, but let's kind of investigate a little bit. Like, how has your experience been since winning BGV Chicago Pitch? What was that impact like for you?
I would say for me, it wasn't my first pitch competition, but I would just say every pitch competition that I continue to do, I can see the growth and progression in every single one that I do. And with pitching, it's just all about repetition and just getting the experience under your belt. So I would say Black Girl Ventures, the pitch competition definitely did provide me the insight and additional wisdom that I will continue to apply in future pitch competitions. I would say the networking opportunities have been great, and the monetary, prizes and awards that you get and the support that you get is, of course, very supportive along my journey as a young entrepreneur. So I would say it was very insightful and very, just motivating and encouraging. So.
Yeah, so thank you, Jada. And also, we're so lucky to have you as a part of our alumni. I want to talk a little bit about Jada a bit. You didn't know I was going to do this, but I just felt inspired. I want to say for all of y'all out there, like, I first met Jada at our BGV Founders and Friends, the Content Lounge with Io Cheney event. And well, that's when I met you in person, but I got to see you virtually before that. And when I met you in person, it was just so clear that you came with such a strong, intentional energy. You always showed up professional. You brought your juices with you as well, ready to go ahead and make a sale, make a deal. You're ready to get those things out right there. Shoot, we couldn't get enough of those cups of juice. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, we started stealing it from our coworkers and everything. I took, y'all don't know this, okay? This is a little bit of secret, but I'm going to share it right here on the live. COO Vanessa McDowell of BGB, I took a little bit of her juice, but I couldn't help myself, okay? I was consumed with it. So it's so great to have you as a part of the community, Jada, and also it's just really inspiring to see how you showed up and be just so intentional since day one. Like, I really got that vibe from you. So when you come here and just say, like, about the resources, how important it was for you, but also just seeing you be like such an example of what other entrepreneurs can do, of what other people can kind of make waves in business. When I saw you show up so professionally, so skilled, so about your business, I was truly, truly impressed. So don't play on Jada. Don't play on Jada.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Same question to the rest of y'all too. Anybody can chime in and talk.
Oh, I'll say sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I would say since winning second place for the pitch, like my business has really been taking off. Like the momentum is really picking up. So not only were like the networking opportunities amazing, but just the prize money as well. So since I have a lab, like equipment is very expensive, so that definitely helped me get things going. And then that allows me to have other offerings for my business. And it also allowed me to, like, I'm in the process of now getting my lab certified, which allows me to manufacture for even like other brands. So it's been like a world of help.
Yeah, wow, dang, that's nice. Shoot, I like to see that. I like the expansion, I like the growth, and I gotta highlight for the people out there watching, the unique thing about Bash Beauty Labs is also the support it gives to the entrepreneurship ecosystem. I think that was really clear to me from the moment I met you, Carly, and I love that about your business, is that it also has like such a great way to support other small businesses. Like it's kind of that like, everybody gets to eat model, everybody gets to have something, everybody gets to be successful. And I think it continues to grow community. So if you're in Chicago, even if you're not in Chicago, if you're nationwide and you need somebody to produce your formula for you, okay, Carly might be it. Just hit her up. She's out here supporting the community. She's not kidding. Okay, thank you, Carleen. Katrina, I'm going to bring you up too. Same question to you,
Yes.
How's it been? Because you won first place. So you got to really tell us what it's like.
I did. So it's so funny because I've actually had a couple of people. It's like, hey, I know you. I recognize you. And I'm like, oh, really? So it's kind of like, I'm trying to like, oh, wow, really like gravitate like, wow, I really did win this pitch competition. So it definitely has helped a lot, just with just gaining more momentum for my business and just really helping me scale. This year, I actually wanted to open a candle supply in Chicago. So we're actually working now with a fragrance house and actually having our own fragrance line this coming late fall. So this is one of the great things that one of the things that I was able to really push forward with my brand and just joining the pitch competition in together. But
yes, I love that. I love to see the growth. Like that's really honestly, that's what this all is about, just giving opportunity for a community to grow, for people to have their own businesses, continue to also see, entrepreneurship as a viable life path. Like I think that is what's having all of you on this like live also tells us today. Like anyone can be an entrepreneur. This is something real. Everyone has a shot to make your own business. If you got a dream, if you got the grind and you can make it work, you can make your business happen, So I just love to see the growth. I want to continue, talking, chatting, and getting into the heart of everything. This is a little bit of a quick one, but why did you all apply for the BGV pitch? Like what caught your eye? What moved you? I know everybody has a bit of a different story, but I'm just curious.
I would say for me, what caught my attention was really just, I love how it brings women together, Black women in particular. So that caught my attention. And then I always just look at it as another opportunity to get on another stage and, just grow in general. So I took the opportunity, I applied, and I'm glad I took the opportunity. But what really brought me to it was the community and how it just brings Black women together.
Yes, I love that. Okay, I hear that a lot. I hear community is a really big motivator. I think that's why I do it too. I'm not just because I'm the community manager, but I think also just that is so important to all of us. Anybody else? Why did you join the BGV pitch competition?
Oh, I joined just because I've heard so many great things about their cohorts. So I was like, oh, let me see if I can make it this year. And even though like I was nervous because this was my first time pitching, I think the feedback that the team gave us during our pitch practices, it was great. And it really gave me like the confidence that I needed to go into my pitch.
Good. Okay, I'm glad. I also want to ask Carlene too, because you said you heard some good news. So are there any shout outs? Like, is there anyone in particular that you were like, oh, okay, she made me apply?
It was actually just being on Instagram, and I would see you guys' content, and I would read the comments. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna take a mental note of this company.
Okay, so y'all better be hearing that out there in the live stream, okay? Because Carlene was one of you social followers, and now she's a winner, okay? So I'm just saying it can be anybody, you know? Like, as long as you apply and you're about your business, there's an opportunity for you, okay? So same question to you, Katrina. I want to know, why did you apply for the BGV pitch?
Well, I've actually been following BGV for quite a few years now, and I just really love what you guys do. This year, I had made a promise to myself to really focus on community and scaling my business within my community. And so when I saw the application for the pitch, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I just knew it. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna win it. It's mine. So that was one of the things that I just wanted to build my community this year. And I love the fact that you guys really are a community, and just really uphold each other and really just, help be a support system. We, especially in entrepreneurship as Black and brown women in business, we have a specific ecosystem that really needs to be nurtured and cultivated. And I love what you guys do. So I was like, why not join, so.
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Community or nothing. Like, that's our big motto at BGV. We always want to represent community as best we can. We want to hear from y'all. Shoot, if y'all want to continue to talk, dialogue, my email's always open. My inbox gets flooded. Okay, my inbox isn't infinite, but my email is always open. If y'all are in the community out there and you're not on BGV Connect, that's basically like your own social media platform just for BGV, just for people in our community. So I encourage you all to, kind of join and be a part of that. I know we're already talking about the importance of community across the board. So let's, just keep diving in on that and like what community really means, especially on the entrepreneurship side. I feel like there's a lot of different kind of communities out there, but what is the impact of being with an entrepreneurship community like BGV?
Impact. I mean, really being impactful in our community and really being a standard, not only for ourselves, but many of us are generational, legacy builders. So really just being impactful in everything we do. And I love just being intentional, not only about my products, but the things that I do, just operating in that space and intentionality.
Nice. I love that. Wow, that was powerful. I gotta sit back on that. I need to do on that later. I might be thinking on that when I get off live a little bit. And y'all better be too. Shoot, that was a good one. Anybody else? What's the impact of entrepreneurship communities like BGV?
I think it's just that like other founders and other entrepreneurs know what you're going through. So everyone gives like tips, and we all kind of just want to help each other out in that way. So it's like an amazing process.
Yes. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, I want to just piggyback off of what they just said. It's about that, and in addition to just being able to lean on each other in times where it might get hard, because as we know, entrepreneurship has its ups and its downs. So just being able to have other people, especially other women, to just lean on and maybe even just vent to, or even if it's about giving a resource that would help them with that problem, that's just it's just so invaluable that it's more than money can buy, really. So just being a part of a community like that is very valuable.
Yes. Wow, Jenny, you just spoke it to my heart. Like, Jenny, you just said it, but my heart just felt it. That was so sweet. I love that. I love, just hearing like what's the impact of the community, because I really do think community is important, and not just as the community manager, But I also want to say too that one thing that BGV is really interested in, and I don't want any of you founders out there to ever forget that, is we want to know your wins. Like we want to know your struggles. We want to celebrate you. We don't want to pour resources into you, but also we want to be there with you when you get something, when you gain something. You know, like what are those people that you go to and you say, hey, I just did this, and everybody cheers for you. You know, everybody's excited. I think one of the things that Omi sort of talks about as she kind of pioneered through the entrepreneurship space in her own way is that you know, when you're making success in business, maybe your family doesn't understand. You know, when you're making success in business, maybe your friends don't understand, right? If you don't have a business yourself, you're not going to know what it looks like to finally get that website done. You know, when you finally get that website done, actually, let's scale it back a little bit. Not even a full website. When you get the payment system on the website ready, like when you get that Shopify integrated, like people won't understand that joy. People won't understand that relief. You know, people will not understand when you put some money behind your marketing and it actually goes somewhere. Your post actually gets some circulation. You got that last customer that you needed to make that rent. You know, people not going to understand that. People not going to really live that. So I think also I want to say that continue to pour into us and share your wins with us. You know, as want to encourage all the founders out there, all the founders on this call, but also all the founders in our network. Like, we want to hear you win. We want to hear your success. We want to be there with you. So I love all the things that y'all said, but I also want to make sure everybody knows it's not just about, you know, supporting you when you are in a crucial place of need. It's also supporting you when you're in a place of abundance. And that's the thing about BGV is we want to be that consistent place of community for you. Not just now, but for forever. We always want to be making sure that underrepresented founders have access to capital capacity and community building. So all of those good things. So, you know, 24/7, 7 days a week, always BGV. Now, might not always be me. Now, you know, it might be somebody else, but it's still BGV, always there for you. Okay, community or nothing. Keeping things going down. You know, I know we've talked a little bit about community and like your experience in the pitch, but I want to hear from y'all. Do you have like any like words of encouragement for people out there that are still trying to pitch their business? I know it was a couple of your first times.
I would say just keep at it. I know, like personally, a lot of times I felt like I was doing a lot of work. I used to tell my friend, like, I kind of feel like I'm on a stationary bike. Like it's not, like I'm working, but like it's not really going like as I planned. But I think the more I kept with it, like then I started to really see the momentum. So yeah, just don't give up prematurely. Like you gotta stick with it.
Okay, stick with it. I like it. You know, repetition is perfection. Okay, who else? What other tips and tricks do y'all have to share?
I would say when I first started my business, like I said, I was 17 and I was a previous athlete. I played basketball, so I was naturally just very competitive, not even with others, but really within myself. Like I always challenged myself and I always put a lot of pressure on myself to really perform how I practice. And that often reflected in my business to the point where I would put so much pressure on myself to really nail the pitch or not mess up at all during my pitch, to the point where if I did, I would really beat myself up about it. And as I got older, now I'm 22, and I don't put that much pressure on myself anymore. Like, even though I'm someone who I want to memorize my pitch, if I get on that stage and I trip up, okay, just pick up where you left off. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, because 9 times out of 10, the audience doesn't even know you messed up if you don't show it. So I learned to just do that, not put so much pressure on myself, and just to accept that, hey, even though I might not get first, I still won because I'm in the room. So give yourself grace. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to perfect your pitch, and just learn as you go, because every loss, you have to learn to look at it as a lesson instead of a loss. And that's the mental transition that I had to learn as I got older.
I hope y'all out there taking notes. Listen, I hope y'all out there taking notes, because Jada's dropping it. Listen, I love that, Jada, because I feel like also too that's a especially in this modern world, as we just continue to progress, one thing that people often forget is that you're a winner just by being in the space, by being in that room, taking advantage of that skill. And that's what I was talking about with Jada and how she show up. You can see that right away when she comes into the space, because she's going to take advantage of that. She's going to take advantage. She understands that. And I think that's a really valuable skill for any founder out there to know and understand, is that when you get into the room, when you get into the space, and you're able to, the way you're able to move, the way you're able to create relationships, partnerships, and connections, sometimes it's not always going to be that first place win or that big pitch, but it is going to be that milestone relationship. It is going to be that person that's willing to volunteer. Sometimes someone that's willing to volunteer is a major win. So thank you, Jada, for saying that. I feel like that's little known facts. Everybody don't know that. So Jada dropping everything right now. Okay, same thing to you, Katrina. What kind of tips and tricks do you have for founders pitching out there?
Just be persistent. Just like Jada said, just really, just go out there and do it. Do your best. A lot of times we may seem like we may fumble something, or we're not, where we're supposed to be, or we think that we should be further ahead than we really are. We are you appreciate and embrace the place that you're at right now in that season. And really just be ready to be open and receptive for whatever's coming your way. I know myself personally, I had to really overcome giving myself grace. I am my worst critic. I'm always so hard on myself, but always give yourself grace in every circumstance in life. Just like we always extend the grace to others, extend it to yourself, and just take your time and stick with it. You ain't gonna, sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. And it's all about the lessons that you gain along the way.
Yes. Okay. I like that. I'm feeling inspired. I hope everyone else out there is feeling inspired too. I'm getting excited. I want to ask, while we're giving tips, tricks, talking about all this stuff, we got, CEOs in here. We have founders in here. I think that that's something that, as I've been talking to more founders throughout our network, I think that I'm realizing, a lot of people are still learning how to see themselves as a CEO, to see themselves as a leader of a company. So I want to ask you all, what does that feel like for you? Like, how are you a CEO? And then what kind of tips and tricks do you have to share with other founders as they're learning to do the same?
I would say, just as a CEO, one thing that I'm learning is learn from other CEOs, learn to take criticism, learn how to implement the things that people are telling you that, oh, maybe you could change this, maybe you can do this, and kind of digest it and be like, oh, okay, let me implement that.
Okay, I like it. A little bit of flexibility, always learning, always keeping flexible.
Yes.
Okay, any other tips and tricks out there?
I would say when it comes to what does being a CEO look like to me, I would say it looks like showing up even when you don't want to, and doing every role in your company. Because right now, I know me personally, it's really just me and my mom. So we have to do everything, literally everything, down to marketing, sales, administration. We have to do everything. So it's just being willing to play every role, knowing every role in your company, so that when you do hire people, you know what they're doing because you did it yourself. And just showing up, because there's days where I'm just so in the mood, maybe because of something I have going on personally. I'm like, man, I don't even want to do anything for my business today. I'm just done. I'm over it. But I have to still show up, because if I don't show up, nobody's going to show up. So that's the part of being a CEO that a lot of people don't see, is when you just don't feel like showing up, but you still have to. And it also means you might work 40 plus hours a week, but you don't get paid for that whole 40 hours a week, because you're still building, you're still developing. So are you willing to still put the work in, even though you're not getting paid for all the hours that you put in? So that's the other side of it. So that's just what, being a CEO looks like, in my opinion.
Yes, Jay. I'm telling y'all to be taking notes. I'm not kidding. Jada is delivering stuff tonight. I am about to start taking notes. Where's my pen and paper, actually? Because this is everything. I also feel like too, isn't it crazy how just that journey of business very often teaches founders how to kind of be self-reliant and how to believe in yourself in that way. Like when you're saying, like, if I don't show up, like, who's going to show up for my business? Who's going to be there? You know, you're working 40 hours. You're not even getting that money. Sometimes you're working 40 hours and you're not even making profit at all. Like it's $0 of profit. Like that's the early days. You know, you ain't got to worry about that now, Jada, because Jada Juice is popping. But, you know, back in the day, you're just mixing the juices. It's not making no money. You got to figure it out, right? So I think also that journey of self-reliance and sort of kind of being like self-actualized is so key. And I think that really is like something I see with so many founders. So thank you for sharing that. I really resonate. Okay, Katrina, I think you're our last person with this question. What kind of tips and tricks do you have for CEOs?
I had to learn to show up for myself. In order for us to be the best version of ourselves and really be successful in what we're doing, we have to show up for ourselves first. So I had to learn to be more selfless in my, you know, some of the things that I had to delegate. So learning to be okay with saying, no, I don't think I can do that, or maybe this is overextending myself into this capacity. I had to learn to be really selfish about myself. Because I feel like it created a better space for me to be more creative and really pushing forward in my business. So I would just say, really show up for yourself. You know, even on the days that you don't feel like it, or some of the days that you're dealing with your own issues or mental health issues or things of that nature, just try to show up for yourself. Because if you don't have yourself, you have nothing to fall back on. So that would be one of my tips and tricks, I would say, for entrepreneurship.
Yes. Okay. I like it. I'm feeling inspired. So I'm going to ask a new question. I'm going to ask a little off the cuff question. So I hope y'all are, you know, willing to play with me a little bit. But I'm just hearing you all talk about like the intersection between, you know, being an entrepreneur and also your personal life. And I'm really curious, and I'm sure there's founders out there as well that are curious, like, how do you all feel about that? You know, how do you deal with sort of the balance between being an entrepreneur and having your personal life? And, you know, what is that experience like for you?
For me, it's easier said than done. You could go ahead.
Okay, Carlene, I'm gonna put
you. Yeah. Sorry.
I
would say it's definitely hard to link everything. Like Jada said, you are wearing a lot of hats in your business, being like a founder, like a startup. So it's a lot to juggle. That personal life is already a lot to juggle on its own. So yeah, I don't think I found the perfect balance yet. I think I'm still working. I'm still trying to navigate it. But yeah, just take it day by day.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being honest. You know, I feel like that level of vulnerability is so refreshing, especially in this entrepreneurship space. I think it's, you know, can be kind of tough sometimes to be honest about the experience and the difficulty. So thank you for that. I saw you saying something too, Jada, so I'll pop you on the screen so you can go ahead and talk about it.
I would say it's definitely easier said than done. For me personally, I had to balance my entrepreneurial journey with school. I literally just graduated college in May, so now I'm officially in it full time. So in the midst of that season that I was in, I had to sacrifice a lot. I had to write down a lot because in our minds there's so much going on and what we need to do. If we don't write it down, we're going to lose track or get overwhelmed. So I learned to just start writing things down, and that helped me get some type of balance and control over everything I had going on. And then I just learned to not try and take it all on by myself and lean on mentors or my peers or even my mom and my family. Like, hey, I need help with this, or hey, think about this. That gives you some type of balance as well because you're not carrying it all by yourself. So I would say that's what balance looks like to me. Sometimes I don't have any balance at all. Sometimes I just have like an emotional breakdown sometimes, and that's okay to release that because holding it all in as an entrepreneur, you're gonna eventually get overwhelmed.
Thank you for that. I love the space that we've created. I really feel like founders out there can really listen to this and resonate, and also just, you know, feel welcomed. And I think that's what you know, BGV is really trying to encourage, as well as making sure that founders can be welcome in this space and kind of see themselves in that way. So Katrina, I want to ask you the same question. Like, what is that emotional experience like for you behind being an entrepreneur?
I really, like everybody was pretty much said, I had to learn balance and really just understanding how important it was to keep myself rooted and grounded. And just understanding that, I can't show up all the time. Sometimes there's some things I'm going to miss, some things I'm not going to be able to do. Even with myself being a mom and, juggling and a grandma. So, trying to be there for my daughter who lives out of state and things of that nature. So sometimes I can't show up for everything, but when I do show up, I put it all 100% in. But I had to learn to really be okay with sometimes not always giving my 100%, and sometimes I may be only able to get like 70 to 80, but I'm still showing up. It just may not be the full, hey, it's me, but I'm still believing in showing up and just really creating that balance.
Okay, thank you for that. Balance. I'm hearing balance is the key word of the live. Okay, we need to lock in on that. Everybody needs to lock in on balance all 2025, all 2026. Listen, we need to lock in on that. Let's keep the train moving. We're getting a little close to time. So I want to ask y'all just a couple of ending questions before we're all done. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I am curious, like, how would you all define success? We've talked a little bit about sort of the emotional experience and the ups and downs of being a founder. Like, what makes it gratifying? Like, what does that success look like for you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say that has been my challenge for me because society is a great impact on what we look at success as. And what my mentor told me was, if you don't define what success looks like for you, you're never going to be satisfied. So I've been in the process of defining that for me. And so far I've come up with just impact, generational impact, that'll carry on even when I leave or if I stop. What success looks like to me also is when people come up to me and say, hey, what you just said really impacted me, or it really changed me, or it just resonated with me in some type of way, shape, or form. And with my business, of course, the monetary success also comes with it. We want to have a profitable company. So that's what success looks like as well. And just really just being able to impact or change the next person to do something similar to what I'm doing, or even just chase after their dreams.
Nice. I love that. I mean, I think by my standards, or by those standards anyway, you're already being pretty successful. So that's good, Jada. And I think it's just continuing the work, So thank you for, bringing in your view of success. Carlene, I'm going to come up to you now and see, what does success look like for you and how do you define it?
I would say for my company in particular, my success is like the success of my clients, because I am helping smaller businesses. Just seeing, like, when someone places an order and then I can go on their social media and I see the products that they bought from me, but it's their branding on it and how excited they are and how they're able to do their marketing. So seeing other people's businesses thrive is basically what I consider my success.
Yes. Okay. I'm pulling out community for one of our words to remember too, because I feel like that's also what we've talked about, just supporting each other, pouring back into one another. And then also what Jada was saying, for that longevity, not only for just right now, but also as the community continues to grow and shape and change. So I think I want to thank you all for just coming on here tonight and being a part of that, because I feel like this is definitely a bit of what we're doing. So before we hop out of the live, because we only got a couple more minutes left, I want to ask everybody to just go around and, let people know how we can connect with you further. And then also a little bit of, what does your company have coming down the pipeline this year? Let us know how we can connect with you and what might be coming in the future.
I'll go first. My name, you can always find me on NazuriCulture.com. You can also find me on all social media platforms at Nazuri Culture. We have a lot of great expansion opportunities. We'll actually are going to be in Navy Pier, which is in Chicago, and as a retail one in one of the retail spaces, that's going to be a shared space. So yeah, if y'all know Navy Pier, it's always packed in there. And then we're also currently we're in Atlanta. I heard there was a lot of people that was from Atlanta. So we're in Atlanta this weekend for the Invest Fest. So if you guys happen to be there, come and stop by booth 944 to see me. I have all my dessert inspired candles, but you can always find me on all social media platforms. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you, Katrina. Listen, that was it. Okay. Who else? How can we connect with you, and what do y'all have coming down the pipeline?
You can connect with me at Bash Beauty Labs on Instagram, TikTok, email support@bashbeautylabs.com, or from our website, bashbeautylabs.com. At the end of Q4, I am launching about 20 plus new products. So hair care, skin care, body care. So these are formulas that I've been working on for a very long time. So yeah, these will be available to be customized and be branded for your brand.
Crazy. You said 20?
Yes.
Dang, I'm like by the end of Q4. Okay, come on, Carlene. That's everything. Okay. And Jada, I'm gonna bring you up to the stage too. Tell us how can we connect with you. And just what's a little bit coming down the pipeline for 2025.
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram at jada.juice. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Jada Samuels. And then our website is jadajuice.com. As far as what's coming up, we'll be announcing a few different things on our website, such as new flavors, new bundles that you can order, and out-of-state shipping options. And then we'll also be announcing a new partnership. I can't say what it is yet, but it's going to be announced very soon. So I'm super excited. So stay tuned.
Oh, I'm at the edge of my seat. Dang, secret partnership. Listen, we just got, that was a BGV exclusive, I felt like. Was that a BGV exclusive?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, Jada. Listen, we need to talk about that. You need to let me know all about that. Okay, come on. A little secret partnership. We can't talk about it, but breaking news here. You heard it first. Something's coming down the pipeline with Jada Juice. Y'all better listen on. I just want to give one last thank you to each and every one of you just for coming up and, participating in this. It's a really good experience. And I think that it's always, what did I do? What did I do to the screen? Okay, there we go. I fixed it. We're back. This is a really good experience, but it's also always good to, get to connect with you all and just give you all a platform also to talk about each other and yourselves. And I encourage any other founders out there, listen. Okay, you just heard from 3 BGV Pitch competition winners. Okay, first, second, and third place. And all of them are doing amazing things in their own right. All of them are growing and continue to skyrocket in their business. I'm hearing also that community is a major thing outside of the capital, outside of, the access, also just getting in touch with community, getting support and resources is also so key. So I encourage anybody out there, if you want to be a part of this magic, if you want to see what BGV has and kind of just, join the community. Community or nothing by. We got plenty of programs. We have the BGV Pitch competition, which will be going on in Philly, New York, and LA of this year. So Philly applications are open right now. New York coming soon, and then LA. So we still got 3 cities left. So if you're going to be a part of it, you still got a chance. Also, I want to shout out just all of our BGV alumni out there continuing to make waves. We love y'all. We support y'all. We want to continue to hear from you. So thank you to Carlene. Thank you to Jada. And thank you, Katrina, for just coming on here and just giving back to the community, really sharing your story and really just being so generous tonight. So we're going to end the live. That's the end of it. I know we have to go. Goodbye, everyone.